The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. When Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of King Herod, behold, Magi from the east arrived in Jerusalem, saying, "Where is the newborn King of the Jews? We saw his star at its rising and have come to do him homage." When King Herod heard this, he was greatly troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. Assembling all the chief priests and scribes of the people, he inquired of them where the Christ was to be born. They said to him, "In Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it has been written through the prophet, 'And you, Bethlehem, land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah, since from you shall come a ruler who is to shepherd my people Israel.'" Then Herod called the Magi secretly and ascertained from them the time of the star's appearance. He sent him to Bethlehem and said, "Go and search diligently for the child. When you have found him, bring me word, that I too may go and do him homage." After their audience with the king, they set out. And behold, the star that they had seen at its rising preceded them, until it came and stopped over the place where the child was. They were overjoyed at seeing the star, and on entering the house, saw the child with Mary, his mother. They prostrated themselves and did him homage. Then they opened their treasures and offered him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And having been warned in a dream not to return to Herod, they departed for their country by another way. The Gospel of the Lord. Where is the newborn King of the Jews? Jesus was something Herod could never be. He was born king. Herod wasn't even Jewish. He was from an influential family, and he was appointed king by the Romans. The sign of his arrival was the Roman army. He was appointed to rule the Jewish people. His rule was done to please Rome, and his rule was enforced by the army. He had to please Rome. He was appointed king, and that appointment could be revoked. Herod was troubled by the birth of Jesus and the religious leaders with him. Herod was paranoid about any threat to his power. He even killed some of his own family members who he thought were a threat, and he was ruthless about it. He was afraid of a legitimate king. So he decided he would try to put an end to Jesus before he could be a problem. Jesus was born king, and the sign of his arrival was a star. He wasn't just king of the Jews. He was king of all creation. He was God's son and savior of the world. He would follow God's way. He didn't need an army to enforce his rule. His rule was about mercy and compassion and service. His only commandment was to love. That's why Herod and the religious leaders were troubled, because they were the ones that were in control, and they did things the way that was most beneficial to them. Jesus would challenge that because he was born king. He didn't depend on the appointment of any earthly power. He was God's light breaking into the world, and that light would show their flaws. In baptism, we are reborn in Jesus Christ. We die in the waters of baptism and rise to new life. We rise to life in Jesus Christ. We rise as children of God. We rise to new life to be put on the way of Jesus. We are to continue his mission of love and mercy and service. We are to carry on his mission to all people. The Magi followed the light of the star, and they found the light of the world. Reborn in Jesus, we are people of the light. We share in the mission of Jesus to shine that light on every corner of our world.